Yeah.
As many of you know, I'm not a great public speaker. Fortunately, I can put my piece of paper down for any of you who are at Mandy and Tark's wedding last year. But I'll leave most of the funny to Monday. We'd like to thank all of you guys for coming today. Having you all here with us has made this day even more special to be able to share it with you. And Mandy and I are both super excited because both of us have family who've traveled very far to come to this wedding. We have Baba Blaga, who has traveled all the way from Australia to be here with us today. We have Felicia, Jim, Katie, Miles, Thea, Stefan, and Emily, who've flown all the way in from BC. And we have Catherine, who has flown in all the way from Newfoundland. So we've got coast to coast covered.
And we have a very large, rowdy contingent from Windsor.
And Michigan. They're probably a little more rowdy. We'd like to say a special thank you to our parents, first of all, for putting up with us when we were teenagers. Today would not have been possible without you. Thank you so much for everything you guys have done for us. And to our sisters, Christy and Midiana, you guys have been so fantastic through this whole planning and coordinating, and for personally contributing the 4 cutest members of our wedding party. Mandy, Tark, and Mark, you guys have been such a huge help. Helping Mandy and I with all sorts of projects or reducing our stress level when we were freaking out, and by we I mean me. You guys are the best friends that we could possibly have. We love you guys. And also, I do have a special thank you for Chantal. This is a little bit of a surprise for her. She doesn't know this is coming. A lot of brides are very unwilling to give up their spotlight on their wedding day. But Chantal excitedly gave Mende permission to propose to me at her wedding at midnight, which was on New Year's Eve, so that Mende could finally get off his butt and propose already. I actually have a little something for you. Instead of the tradition of throwing my bouquet, I would like to present it to you.
So now I have to be funny. I can do it. I wanted to give just a little bit of perspective on how likely things are and how unlikely things are. We often say that somebody's 1 in a million, and I think sometimes it's too much of an expression and not enough of reality. So I sat down and started crunching the numbers to try to figure everything out. 1960. University of British Columbia. Marilyn and Gary decide to sign up for the only class they can take together in the curriculum, which just so happened to be computer science. Or as they called it back then, punch cards. That's not a joke. This is important because actually at this point Gary kind of made a bit of a career decision and got into the computers field, which eventually resulted in him getting shipped all the way from Vancouver to Toronto, which is point number 1. 1979. My parents give up in frustration and cave in to my sister's wishes and decide that they're going to have another kid. (1982). Media no regrets decision. This is important. So at this point, Colleen's parents have also had their second child. Just so happened to be also 1982. Could have been any year. Coincidence? Maybe. 1985. The economy in Yugoslavia starts to slow down a little. My parents realized that, although they're fine, the likelihood of my sister and I having a successful future was not there anymore. So, after much cajoling from their family and much thought, they picked up roots and sailed, no, not that long, flew all the way across the ocean to Ontario as well. Yeah, and I had chickenpox at the time. Less important. Now, at this point, we're both in the right province. The odds of all this happening, I'm sure you're all spinning on this. Who knows? It's 1 in a trillion, at least. Now, a couple of years go by, and Colleen and I don't know each other, never met each other, different schools, different places, and the time rolls around to pick a high school. And anybody who grew up in my area, back row, knows that the high school that was available to us as a primary choice was not really that great, especially my lack of gang affiliations. It wasn't working out. So, thankfully, my sister, in her infinite wisdom, that comes only with age, suggested to me that I go to Woburn. And luckily at the same time, actually, Colleen's sister was at Woburn, which meant Colleen could get into Woburn as well, which is when we met. Which brings me to more recent times. 1997. The TDSB has decided to make history a mandatory class. We end up in the same history class, and although I can't prove this, I know in my heart of hearts that that chunk of plasticine that hit me in the back of the head originated from somewhere around here. Again, no proof, but I think we know how this goes. It took a few years, as Marilyn pointed out, many, many bad boyfriends. But eventually, we found each other. And we've been together ever since. And, oh, now I'm tearing up, Jesus. Hold it together. But the point is, when you take all that stuff into account, and all the things that could have happened and didn't and did happen, thankfully, it's a bit of an understatement to say that she's 1 in a million. So, with all that in mind, I want to propose a toast. Because it's not about the math. It's about realizing how rare and special the people around us are, and how lucky we are to be here together today to celebrate with each other. So, To our friends, our family, my parents and Colleen's parents, thank you. And our siblings, and all of you, but especially to you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing this with us. Cheers.